What's up, everybody? It has been a while, but I'm back in front of the whiteboard talking about kind of one of the main philosophies I have in going through detection for mold in the home and this obsession with testing that is all over the place. So I've done hundreds of in-person inspections myself, and I've run many tests. I will tell you honestly, I've probably unsold more people on more tests than I've actually sold them on. Did that cost them less money and therefore put less in my pocket? Yes. My goal was not to not test, but it also was not to over test just for the sake of testing. If I were to put a pie chart together of priority, that's what I'm going to explain here. My goal is like determining where the sources are in your home and giving you the most bang for your buck process to find those sources and remediate them and get down the process. So we investigate as step one, and then you start going down to remediation, step two, and then you got to go into rebuild and repair, maintenance, healing and all that stuff into step three. If step one costs you so much money and time and energy just for the detection process, you still have a long road ahead of you with remediation costs and rebuild and everything that goes with it. So knowing that on the front end, I still want to give people a very full, comprehensive investigation process, but how do we do that in a kind of responsible manner with integrity? Because every test is a data point. I'll start with testing, then I'll explain this. The testing is a data point, and every test has its strength and has its weakness. So if I took 100 tests in someone's house, and if they were all $1 a piece, maybe I would do 100 tests, but they're not. They're they can definitely add up. So 100 tests would be 100 different data points. We would get air sample, swab sample, dust collection sample, all these different modalities of determining what the micro levels are in these areas. Those are data points. They are one perspective and one piece of the puzzle, like I always said. Those tests don't always give me the best remediation strategy by themselves. So when people send me a whole bunch of tests and say, oh my gosh, tell me about this, I say those are only data points. I need a lot more context to make sense of the testing. Hopefully that makes sense so far. So this obsession with testing can cost a lot of money, and also sometimes it's not always needed. Like if we know that a flood happened in that corner of the room and it's visibly mold growth and there's moisture readings that are high, and testing is definitely important for cross-contamination, like the rest of the home and everything. For curiosity of what am I being exposed to. So yes, I have put a swab on direct areas, but I'm letting you guys know that we need to have a reason as to why we're testing on all of it. And sometimes you can just test like crazy, and you're just getting more info than maybe you need. And there's just, again, kind of an imbalance here. What does all this mean though? To me, this is how I see it. When someone is doing a thorough inspection with trained eyes, knowing how to really check the building envelope, knowing how to really check a home thoroughly with a bright flashlight, with moisture meters and things to really assess a home properly, then you're getting a lot of information. I would say the thorough inspection of the home, inside and out, all the way around, checking for visible signs, moisture, dust content, and everything else that a trained eye would do, is going to give you this much information. And this is all hypothetical. This is all made up percentages, but I'm trying to make a point here. This process is going to give us the most information. That's all going to take time, but obviously on how big your house is and square footage and things. But this is, in a sense, free. I mean, the inspection's not free, but for every test, the price goes up. That's what I'm trying to say. If we start adding in the history of the home, the maintenance, the functionality of it, how's this home really operating, that kind of does fall into what we can find out without testing, right? So we can even erase this line a bit and put almost 75% potentially of what we're trying to find out could be just in these areas. So this is what I like to help people with remotely. Am I there to do the thorough inspection? No, but I can help empower the people to do their own homework to test the home really well. Maybe we bring in an inspector to partner with us and we really get a good idea of the home. We talk about the history, the maintenance, the functionality, and of how things are functioning. Then this important piece, which I would call more of the right brain approach, is the intuition side, the health, symptoms. When someone's going into the home and they're feeling a certain way and they go out of the home and they feel different, that is a test in itself. That one's free except for your symptoms, right? So let's erase that, because there's senses and biological signs as well. You're maybe working with your health practitioners, a lot of different things about, just how you're feeling at different times of the day, what you're smelling, that can be here as well with the senses, right? So and maybe some people will debate me on how much testing. Maybe this, oh no, testing is more 50%. Well, whatever. Let's talk about it. It's totally fine. I'm not telling you to believe me fully on this and just take it. I'm telling you based on my experience. We can tell a lot, and I've had conversations with other inspectors who are very, very trusted, who have this process as well. We determine most of what we can tell about the facts and the kind of the road ahead based on these factors. The tests can confirm or deny certain facets of that, but to be fully obsessive and tunnel vision on, well, my ERMI says this, and I'm kind of gonna, I don't know, like, yeah, my health is bad, I'm kind of like in a stressful state. Yeah, I checked the home like kind of quick, and like, I don't know, history of the home doesn't really, I'm just going based on this ERMI. That's where we miss a lot. And that's what I don't want anyone here who is getting educated on this stuff to do, is get too obsessive with what the tests say by themselves alone. We need to fill in a lot of these other gaps. So I do hope this makes sense and you're following this a bit. I definitely am for testing. They're good comparatives. They can kind of prove, confirm, or deny certain things with health, with certain symptoms you're getting, certain toxigenic types versus not toxigenic types. Definitely for that. But I will say there are a lot of things that the inspection itself can tell us that tests may never tell us. That's the big key, is that when we're doing all of these other things, we might get some facts or some signs and clues that an air sample, a swab sample, an ERMI test, an EMA test may never show us. That's what's interesting. There's gaps in the testing process. Do we still want to use them as pieces of puzzle? Sure. You got to work with your goals and what you're trying to accomplish, your budget, and with a team of people who you can trust. So hope this helps a bit. Would love to help you if you need me. But hopefully this, and again, it can all be different percentages, but I'm just trying to make a point that the testing alone should not get 90% of the attention. But I would propose to you that maybe all these other facets deserve just as much or more weight. So much love. See you soon.